At some point, stories changed. They stopped speaking only of gods and heroes and began listening to quieter things, to glances held too long, to feelings left unsaid, to the slow passing of time inside a single life. This shift did not happen loudly. It happened behind silk screens, by lamplight, in a world where words were whispered, not declared. 1,000 years ago, one woman watched human longing unfold in silence and chose to write it down. She did not invent a legend. She did not chronicle an empire. She recorded what it feels like to love, to wait, to remember. Her name was Murasaki Shikibu, court lady, observer, and the woman who taught stories how to look inward. A 1,000 years ago, Japan was ruled not by warriors, but by ceremony. This was the Heian period, an age of poetry, perfume, and perfection. The imperial court was a world apart, sealed behind screens and etiquette. Words mattered more than swords. Calligraphy was character. Poetry was power. A single misplaced phrase could ruin a reputation. And women, though barred from formal education in Chinese, the language of politics and scholarship, became masters of something else, the vernacular, emotion, the unspoken. It was here, in this floating world of elegance and restraint, that Murasaki Shikibu was born. Little is known of her true name. Even Murasaki Shikibu was a borrowed one. Born to a minor aristocratic family, she was the daughter of a scholar who openly wished she had been a son. She learned anyway, by listening, by watching, by absorbing what she was never meant to know. Widowed young, she entered a long solitude. And when she was later summoned to serve the empress, she stepped into the most watched place in Japan, a court of beauty, ritual, and quiet despair. The women of the Heian court lived concealed. They spoke from behind silk screens, revealing themselves through sleeves, through handwriting, through poems passed in secret. Desire was indirect. Jealousy was muted. Love existed on the page. Murasaki watched it all. The romances, the rivalries, the loneliness beneath refinement, and understood something new. A life is not made of events, but of feelings remembered. And so she began to write. Not an epic, not a myth, not a moral lesson, but a life. The Tale of Genji followed the story of Hikaru Genji, the shining prince, a man beloved, flawed, yearning, aging. Through him, Murasaki explored love and loss, ambition and regret, the slow ache of time passing. She wrote not in chapters, but in moments. She lingered on glances, on misunderstandings, on the sorrow of realizing that happiness never stays. This was something entirely new. A story not about what happened, but about how it felt. Murasaki did not explain her characters. She revealed them through hesitation, memory, contradiction. They changed. They aged. They looked back and wondered who they had been. For the first time, characters were not symbols. They were selves. Reading the Tale of Genji is not like hearing a story. It is like overhearing a life. And in doing so, Murasaki Shikibu created something radical, the psychological novel. Murasaki was not celebrated like male scholars. She wrote in Japanese, not Chinese. The language deemed serious. Yet this choice gave her freedom. She captured what official history ignored, the inner lives of women, their intelligence, envy, devotion, resentment. In her diary, She was sharp, ironic, unsparing. She saw the court clearly, its beauty and its hollowness, and she wrote anyway. The Tale of Genji did not arrive complete. It moved slowly, copied by hand, read aloud behind screens, shared among women who recognized themselves in it. It became more than a story. It became a way of seeing. Readers did not admire Genji for greatness, but for weakness, his tenderness, his inability to hold happiness. For 1,000 years, the book never vanished. Artists painted it. Poets echoed it. Readers returned not for plot, but for recognition. Long before the modern novel, Murasaki had written a world that felt lived in. Before Murasaki, stories moved forward. After her, they turned inward. She understood that time is uneven, that one memory can outweigh years, that longing collapses past and present into a single moment. In Genji, emotion reshapes time. Love lingers, loss repeats, joy fades even as it is felt. Her characters hesitate, look back, and mourn selves already gone. This was new, the understanding that a life is lived not only through events, but through reflection. Murasaki Shikibu never announced herself. She did not claim invention. She did not name her work a revolution. She simply wrote. And in doing so, she changed literature. She showed that small emotions hold deep truths, that a life, closely observed, is worthy of art. Some stories fade, others wait to be heard.